Hey everybody, this is Chris Kelly, managing producer of entertainment for NJ.com, joined once again by our food dude, Pete Genovese.
Hey.
Pete, huge news in New Jersey food this week. We released our updated Pizza Power Rankings list. First of all, explain to folks what this is.
New Jersey Pizza Power Rankings, the definitive list of the state's pizzerias, and of course, no topic, not just food topic, no topic. I would argue no topic in New Jersey is as much a hot button issue as pizza. Forget Chris
Forget
Christie,
the governor.
forget sports, forget anything else. It's pizza. You want to start an argument? Just say, I know the best pizza in New Jersey.
And you said you know the best pizza in New Jersey.
Well, yeah. Well,
and
we
started some arguments.
Last October was the first ranking. There's 25 of the best pizzerias in New Jersey, and we updated. We're going to do this list twice a year, every 6 months. So, last week,
And we'll see movements up, movements down.
we had serious movement. We had chaos in the pizza world with the new rankings.
But not at the very top.
First
Number
two, one and two stayed. That was it. Santello's and DiLorenzo, Santello's and Elizabeth, Delos and Hamilton used to be in Trenton. After that, it was just.
And those places, let's talk about those top two, because those two places for you are just iconic. They're sort of implacable. Like they are just the ones.
They are right now. I mean, the next Pizza Power Rankings in October, the next ones, I mean, they could change. They could end up toward the bottom. Who knows? But those two, Santello's. And there is much, Santillo's is an experience as much as great pizza. It's this little hole-in-the-wall pizza shop. You walk down the side. It's a house. You walk down the driveway, open the screen door. There's no place to sit down inside. Al Santillo, the owner, is kind of a lovable nut. If you get on his good side, he'll be in 5 minutes. He'll be inviting you. You were there. I took you there when you were one of your first Jersey
And the pizza
dining
is
experience.
amazingly
All
good.
different kinds too. It
Yeah.
isn't just one, and he doesn't do Neapolitan, which is sort of the rage and the craze right now. He does just straight old-fashioned pizzas. DiLorenzo's, there's a soft spot in my heart because they were from Trenton, where I'm from. They had a place in Chambersburg, which is the Italian section of Trenton. They moved out a couple of years, they closed down. Now the son of the original owners runs the one in Robbinsville. It's basically the same pizza. So those two, but again, they could change.
Okay,
right
I
now.
want to talk about, we had a whole bunch of new places come out of nowhere
Yep.
and really make a mark on this batch of rankings. Number 3, Vesta wood-fired pizza. This is in East Rutherford.
Right.
Number 3.
Yeah, out of nowhere. When number 3 and 4 came out of nowhere, they weren't in the original rankings. Vesta, North Jersey, Bricko, number 4 in South Jersey.
in Haddon Township.
Haddon Township, right. Now they, I got a little criticism, and it was, all criticism is good. They, you favored these, the Neapolitan pizza, these places that do wood or coal fired. There was only a couple that made, there were as many sort of straightforward pizzerias that were the newcomers as the coal-fired or wood, the Neapolitan. But I've been to all the corner pizzerias. They're doing the same, many of them are doing the same pizzeria they've been making for the last 40 or 50 years. And there's nothing new going on there. You use the same boring toppings. What's different about the Neapolitan is that they're using creative, unusual, out-of-the-box toppings. They're using, not that I'm telling people to run down to their supermarket and find rabbit sausage, but you can find rabbit sausage. You can find the imported or homemade pepperoni.
Pepperoni, sure.
The pepperoni, the world's most popular topping, is the world's most boring topping. But when you find a place, and again, you're not going to find it at your neighborhood pizzeria, the homemade or the handcrafted pepperoni. I'll eat that pepperoni. I'm not going to eat the stuff that comes out of a plastic tub. So that's why, some of these Neapolitan pizzas sort of crept onto the list because, again, if you see a new pizzeria opening, it's most likely it's that kind of place because they've carved out a niche.
But I assume some of your critics say, oh, no, you're taking New Jersey pizza and you're trying to make a Brooklyn pizza. You're trying to make it trendy and hipster, and we just want a traditional slice of pizza.
Anybody who knows me knows that hipster and Pete Genovese will never be in the same sentence.
Not in the same borough, not in the same state.
Look at this. I'm just recognizing great pizza in any form. And again, that top 25 is a mix of traditional corner pizzerias, with the traditional sort of New York style or New Jersey style pizza, and some of the newer Neapolitan pizzas. It's not one over the other. There's more classic pizzerias on this list than the Neapolitan.
Talk about a couple of the classic ones that either maintain their place on the list or that came out of nowhere.
Well, again, the top 2 are classic pizzerias. Star Tavern, which basically stayed the same. They dropped down a few places, but a lot of the places dropped down from the original ones, dropped down to make way for the new ones.
Sure.
So Star Tavern in Orange, it's to me, it's still the gold standard for thin crust. You've got the classic thin crust. And I argue, and I did a book on New York City pizzerias. Thin crust in Jersey is different from thin crust in New York. New York thin crust is not really thin crust. New Jersey is really seriously thin crust. It's, you hold it up and you hold it sideways, you can't see it. So Star Tavern in Orange is still, to me, the gold standard for thin crust. I haven't eaten a better thin crust in New Jersey. People say Pete and Elda's down the shore. It's not as good. So they're a classic. They're number 7. Number 10, Maurizio's in South Jersey for slice. I mean, they finished number 1 in our best slice competition, South Jersey, and so they kind of still held the same. Pizza Town, USA, and in Elmwood Park on 46, another one from Bergen County. It's a good slice of pizza, but they make it as much for the atmosphere. I think there's no better place late night. No better place for a late night slice than Pizza Town on 46 in Elmwood Park.
So tons of responses, obviously.
They're still coming in.
What was the angriest, most controversial thing? What got people riled up the most?
There were some. There was one guy yesterday, and we debated a little bit on and off. You mentioned in our food chat last week, are you going to get any death threats? Well, this wasn't a death threat, but he called me. He says you must have been drunk, one thing, and you must have, all the pizzerias pay to advertise. The pizzerias that pay to advertise get on this list. Well, that's nothing can be further from the truth.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if you're any kind of a food writer, you don't get free meals.
Yes.
Whatever you're doing. And if you are, you're not to be trusted. And so we've done this. This has been the motto on the Munchmobile for ages. We pay for all our food, which entitles us to say what we want.
Yeah.
Same here. This is no different. It's no different from the other, showdowns we've done. Best tacos, best mall food, whatever. So we pay for all our food. I don't think there are any pizzerias that advertise on our site.
I don't know.
I haven't seen them. So again, and I certainly wasn't drunk when I did this.
Yeah,
again,
they're going to accuse you of being a communist next.
Yeah, I think that might have gone one. But again, these pizzas, and people asking me, how are you scoring? How are you judging? It's just like any food review. You know the good from the really good and from the bad. I'm not taking, I'm taking notes wherever I go, but I'm not scoring. I'm not doing 1 to 10.
Sure.
I'm not doing, because that just reduces it to too much of a science to formulas and whatever, and it takes a sort of subjective.
What had the biggest? A number of places fell off. What was of the ones that fell off surprised you? What did you think was a little bit off its game this time?
I don't think. I mean, some big names sort of fell off. Federici's and Freehold, Kinchley's. One of the best known Bergen County pizzas, Mario's in Clifton. Sam's Pizza Palace, one of my favorites on the Wildwood Boardwalk. But it wasn't so much that they slipped; it was that we had to make room for the newcomers.
There's good competition.
So there was, and all these places, Federici's, they're all perfectly fine pizzas. They're all, if there was another 20, top 50, they would certainly be in that. And again, top 25 that's fairly select on.
Yeah.
When you talk about 2,000 some pizzerias in New Jersey, top 25, top 50 would be an honor.
Is this a golden age of New Jersey pizza, where you have a lot of the classics, and then you have some of these newer,
I think so, more
chef-driven pizzas?
Exactly, and more pizza. I mean, my dream once upon a time was to open up a bookstore. And now I think if I have a dream, it's going to be open up a pizzeria. I mean, they never go out of business.
But could you make a pizza as good as these places? That's the test.
I would sink the capital, put my name on it, but I'd be smart enough to get a chef, get somebody else to bring in, somebody who knows what they're doing.
Fair enough.
I would maybe come up with the toppings, name everything after me, or pizza, whatever. But I would, I think it's almost recession-proof.
So pizza, people can go on NJ.com, see the entire list of Pizza Power rankings. In addition to that, it's also Beer Week, National Beer Week.
What goes better together than pizza and beer? It's American Craft Brew Week, which is, this is not for, and craft brew, overwhelming majority of Americans drink the mainstream beer. Bud, Coors, Miller, these are the heavyweights. That's 98% whatever of the American beer drinking public. But there's still, craft beer is still 5% or so, and it's slowly getting more and more. And in New Jersey, there is now whereas it was just a handful. You can count on one hand or two 5 years ago the number of craft brewers. There are now more than 20. There's another 20 or so brew pubs. There are another 35 or so craft brewers in production or about to open. It's we're not Colorado or Oregon, but we're on our way. There's a serious craft brew scene in New Jersey.
So folks can go on NJ.com, tell us what their favorite places
vote
are.
for that now. That story will be up. It's up today. So vote for your favorite.
Tell us your favorites.
Tell us, and we have a great liquor store nearby here, and I can pick up if you recommend a place, I can pick some up on the way home. So it's,
wait till you get home to open. That's my only request. That's this week in New Jersey food. I am Chris Kelly, managing producer of entertainment for NJ.com.
Pete Genovese. See you next week.
Until next week.